Dortmund 1, PSG 0. It was an interesting game. But before I go on to say anything, about PSG, I think I want to go and give Dortmund their flowers because I think they played excellent today. I think Dortmund performed very well. Then PSG were just not on it. PSG didn't have a great performance by any means or anything, but I think Dortmund played really, really well. I think specifically their defensive shape was excellent throughout the game. And it was a complete stark contrast to what I saw when I was at the live game in Paris for match day 1 in the group stages in Paris. And also in the second, the return leg on match day, the last day at Dortmund. And I mean, in particular in that second game, PSG, I don't know how many times PSG had like basically breakaway opportunities one-on-one with the keeper because Dortmund were playing such a high line. I thought today, not only did they press really well, but they also weren't leaving spaces in behind to get cooked and killed by 𝙀𝙁, Mbappe, Dembele. So I thought they defended really well. Matt Tom was aging like fine wine. So, and how can I forget man of the match Sancho, looking like a prime Neymar out there. All right, at United looking like a League One player at best. All right, and now looking like prime Neymar from 2015 to 2017. I'm be honest here, he completely cooked Nuno Mendes. All right, Nuno Mendes got cooked today. It was not like he's gonna be having nightmares tonight. And then 𝙁𝙁 as well with a really well taken goal overall. So just in general, I think Dortmund were really, really good. And everything I'm going to go and say afterwards about PSG is not to take or discredit anything that Dortmund did. Going on to my beloved, or certainly less so today, PSG. I guess my overall thoughts, I still feel okay. I still feel, I guess this is going to be the bit that gets clipped. I still think we'll go through. I think the thing today that's done us is that we left our shooting boots at home. All right, the fact that in the first half in particular that you could not create enough opportunities, did not create any opportunities whatsoever. And then the second half, that for all the opportunities that you did create, you didn't score, right? I think PSG had an XG of 1.5. It had a higher XG than Dortmund, had more big chances, and still the fact that PSG did not score, basically, it baffles me. I think it's going to be rectified in the second leg, but if it continues, I think it's going to be it's going to be a difficult night in Paris. But all you need to do if PSG just a bit more clinical, you can potentially realistically go and have won that game. I don't think PSG were deserving to win on the night, don't get me wrong here, but certainly I think a goal from them was more than enough deserved. And I think I'm thinking of the Dembele chance. You have obviously the 2 posts back to back, Mbappe hitting it first and then 𝐿𝐾𝐑𝐈𝐒. So it's not that in the second half in particular that we couldn't create chances. It's just that we weren't clinical enough. And that lack of clinicality, I think, is what's done us in this first leg. In particular, regarding the starting 11, I had no problems with it. I think it was our strongest 11 that I think 𝐿𝐾𝐑𝐈𝐒 could have faced. Everybody was in position. All the players that are in form were starting. So there was no complaints there. The issue, though, in particular with the front line is Mbappe at 9. It certainly has worked. The only issue, though, is because Mbappe's not a striker, an out-and-out striker, he's more so like, even when he does play at 9, he drifts to the left, obviously. But today, I think he was basically playing as a winger. So basically today, we have 2 wingers. You had 𝙁𝙁 and Mbappe. And that second half, when 𝐿𝐾𝐑𝐈𝐒, 𝐴𝑟cam came on, same thing. Like, I'm looking back, I think there was one opportunity where it was a midfield, either Vitinha or it was a break or something. And I go and look on the left side, and Mbappe and 𝐿𝐾𝐑𝐈𝐒 are literally like no more than 2 meters from each other on a counterattack. It's like, mate, what are you doing? Not only that, but Mbappe, when he would stay more centrally, he'd come down. He'd come down and play as a 10 or false 9, which, yeah, it's great in build-up and whatnot, but like the amount of times where we've put in a cross, or we haven't because there's nobody in the box, it was just so numerous. I look back and think of that chance that Dembele had where he squared it, the keeper didn't get it, and nobody's putting a gamble there. That's where Mbappe needs to be. And the thing that really I understand from Lucho, and the one critique that I may have from him is the substitution. I thought the timing of the substitution was actually probably earlier than I would have thought he would have done so. But I think that taking off 𝙁𝙁, yes, it was the correct move. But to bring on 𝐿𝐾𝐑𝐈𝐒, it's like, what's the point? Generally, like, what's the point? You're taking off one player to bring on basically a player who you'd hope will do basically the exact same things. I'll get on to whether or not he did so afterwards, but it tactically didn't make sense. I think that the thing that we should have done was go on, take 𝙁𝙁 off, yes, but bring in Gonçalo Ramos, because one thing that I saw is that every single time we get the ball out on the wing, well, we'd beat Dembele would beat his man, or Barcola would beat his man, but then or Hakimi also on that right side. But then there's no one in the box. There's just no one in the box, so and you're not going to put a cross in because Mbappe's not winning a header for his life. You've got Barcola's not winning anything else, so we're toothless in that. So from Dortmund's perspective, it's like, yeah, you'll beat them, but you're not going to pat, you're not going to cross it or anything. So it made PSG really predictable. Whereas you put in Gonçalo Ramos in there, but now it's changed. Things really change. You have an outlet there to go into putting a cross in, score a header, something, and it makes Dortmund think twice. Like, generally at this point, I don't know what Gonçalo Ramos needs to do to get into the team. Not even just like the starting 11, but to get minutes in. So, and not only that, but the fact that getting on to 𝐏𝐿𝐼𝐒 at this point, it's like, man, it really is starting to get difficult. Like, I wanted him to succeed at PSG so much, but now it's really starting to get like, he's French, he's from the Paris region, he loves the club. But it's really, really difficult to defend him now. Really difficult. There's so many things, touches, passes, simple passes. I'm telling, like, listen, I know he's a perfect, but like passes I would be making like in my sleep. Okay, touches not going his way, taking heavy touches, simple passes he's not making, just everything. Even like his press and whatnot is completely disfigured. And Mbappe's telling him to press, so on and so forth. It's just, not only he doesn't look a player in confidence, but even just like the basics, like simple passes, layoffs, all that's not going. Genuinely nothing else can be going from him. And the fact that it's just not just now. I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's just he's not suited for Lucho ball, but he really just does not look a player in confidence. And I don't know what to do to rectify that. But now in a Champions League semifinal is not the time for Lucho to go and to start tinkering and trying things. I think you bring on Gonçalo Ramos and you go and he's like, I don't know what he needs to do to basically get into the squad. I really do not. And Mbappe through the middle was not working. Put him out wide. His best chance came when he cut in from that left side to go and hit the post. Why you don't just shift him out left there permanently and have Gonçalo Ramos be as that number 9 role is beyond me. With that, I don't think, bar our lack of clinicality, I don't think it was a bad PSG performance. It wasn't great. It was mid. It was a mid performance, not great. We looked sluggish at times. The press wasn't coherent. Defensively, I think we were okay. I don't think it was bad. The one chance that we get, it was from a lapse in defensive judgment. It was one mistake. Granted, a pretty bad one. Like it's not nothing serious like the Barca game in Paris. So I'm feeling a lot better than the first leg against Barca, just because that game it was just mistakes on our end. And this game I think it was just a lack of finishing. That's all that's done us. If we had one of those opportunities goes in, a morale boost, everything changes. But yeah, overall, I still feel confident. I think everything's still to play for. The tie is nicely poised. Obviously, you would have wanted to go and get a goal to bring it, have it be tied at home. But I guess PSG really want to make things difficult on ourselves. But hey, we get the dub. It won't matter. It's not about how it's done. It's about whether it's done. Yeah, I think hopefully I'll be here next week. I'm saying that. Tranquilo, nothing to worry about. Listen, we keep that 𝐿𝐼𝐒 mindset. Calma, tranquilo, we'll get it done some way, somehow. I don't know how. I don't know whether yet, who's going to be, but I know that we will get it done. We'll get it done in Paris. Historic night for PSG fans everywhere, going to a Champions League final in Paris. And so with that, hopefully I'll be seeing you guys soon. And with that, stay safe, stay kind, stay blessed. Godspeed.